Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Star Scandal Spotlight. Today, we're diving into a story that has taken fans by complete surprise. On the surface, they seemed like the perfect couple, but behind closed doors, their reality was far more complicated than anyone imagined. Nobody knew until now. Jong Suk and his married life isn't what we expected. What secrets have finally come to light? What emotional truths has Jong Suk just revealed? Stay with us, because what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about their love story. When Jong Suk sat down in front of the cameras for a rare, intimate interview, no one expected what would come next. The usually composed actor, known for his calm demeanor and unwavering smile, seemed visibly shaken. His eyes were tired, his voice cracked, and then, he said it. I thought love would fix everything, but it turns out, even love needs saving sometimes. From that moment, the illusion shattered. For months, the public had believed that Jong Suk and were living a quiet, fairy tale-like life after secretly tying the knot of their marriage had broken the internet. But in the weeks that followed, the two largely disappeared from the spotlight, only offering fleeting glimpses of affection through carefully curated social media posts. But what really happened when the cameras were off? According to Jong Suk, their marriage began with warmth and laughter. It had filled their home with music. She'd often sing in the kitchen, her voice weaving between pots and pans as the scent of coffee filled the air. Jong Suk, in turn, would watch her from behind, whispering, "You're the song I never knew I needed." They had late-night walks, shared quiet dinners, and even wrote a song together, a ballad that has never been released. Behind the curtain, it seemed like a dream until it wasn't. He was so strong in front of others, Jong Suk revealed, his fingers trembling as he wiped his eyes. But at night, when it's just the two of us, I've seen her cry without sound. She carries so much pain she never lets the world see. What was the pain she hid? Jong Suk described moments of quiet collapse, nights when he would stare out the window for hours, refusing to speak. She missed being just a Jian, he said softly, referring to his real name. The pressure to always be perfect, it started suffocating her. And Jong Suk? He began to feel helpless. I thought I could protect her, he admitted. But love isn't just holding someone in your arms. It's knowing when to let them fall and trusting they'll rise again. Then came the turning point. A massive argument erupted after a media outlet published an old rumor involving you and a former co-star. Though Jong Suk knew it wasn't true, the resurfacing of the scandal pushed you into a breakdown. She locked herself in the studio for 2 days, he said. She said she felt like she was ruining my career just by being with me. That's when Jong Suk made the most unexpected move of all. He left the house, not out of anger, but out of desperation. I wanted her to miss me. I wanted her to remember that this love wasn't something that needed to be perfect. It just needed to be real. He stayed at a friend's place for 2 weeks, during which neither of them spoke. The silence was deafening. The world remained unaware, continuing to admire their supposed fairy tale. But inside, the couple stood at the brink of collapse. And then, she showed up at his door. No cameras, no makeup, no words, just tears. She didn't say anything, Jong Suk recalled. She just hugged me, and in that moment, I knew. We were broken, yes. Weren't finished. Since then, things have changed. They've sought therapy, and letters to each other instead of fighting, and relearned how to listen. Stepped back from the spotlight, choosing early morning markets over red carpets, homemade ramen over 5-star dinners. People think we're perfect, he said, but our love is messy, loud, and real, and that's the only kind of love worth keeping. As he finished the interview, Jong Suk looked directly into the camera and smiled, not the polished smile fans are used to, but one that quivered with truth. I didn't get a fairy tale, he said. We got something better. We got each other, flaws and all. Just like that, the story everyone thought they knew turned into something no one expected. The world moved on. But Jong Suk and they didn't. Their private emotional reunion, no grand apologies, no media statements. They made a decision that would redefine their relationship. They chose silence. Not the kind of silence born out of resentment, but the rare, sacred kind, the kind where healing begins. They packed a small suitcase and disappeared to a nameless village on the southern coast. No entourage. No reporters. Two people trying to remember what it felt like to be human again. Locals later reported seeing a man buying fresh fish from the morning market, wearing a bucket hat too big for his face. A soft-spoken woman with long hair would come by the small bookstore and read for hours, curled in a corner like she belonged there. Yuan Lee Jong Suk, away from Seoul's flashing lights and suffocating schedules. They began to live, not as celebrities, but as Jian and Jong Suk. Started smiling again. He whispered during the second part of the interview. Aired weeks later by overwhelming public demand. Not for the cameras. Just for herself. I hadn't seen that smile in months. Even in paradise. The shadows followed. Evening, she collapsed during a walk. Overwhelmed by an anxiety attack she hadn't seen coming. Suk carried her back in his arms, barefoot, crying as he whispered, "I'm here. I'm not leaving. I never was." That moment became a turning point, not just in her health, but in their marriage. They began documenting everything. Not to share with the world, but to remember. A photo of a watering plants in oversized pajamas, a video of Jong Suk burning the rice and blaming the pot, notes left on pillows. "Today. You laughed in your sleep, thank you for that. Let's survive this together." They rebuilt, not through grand gestures, but in the quiet rituals of ordinary love. Back in Seoul, fans grew restless. Are they okay? Rumors swirled. Some tabloids reported a breakup, others claimed a secret pregnancy. Truth was far less sensational, but far more profound. They were learning to love again. A close friend revealed anonymously, in the simplest, purest way, when they finally returned to the city 3 months later. Walked through the airport hand in hand. No masks, no hats. No attempts to hide. His face was bare, radiant. Her eyes no longer dulled by the weight of perfection. Jong Suk looked thinner, quieter. There was peace in his posture. They didn't speak to reporters. They didn't need to. But 2 days later, Jong Suk posted a photo on his private social media. A rare, intimate moment. He sleeping on the couch, book in her lap, and his caption. Not perfect. But ours. The image went viral within hours. Fans wept. Celebrities reposted. And for once, the world didn't gossip, it listened. In the final part of the interview, Jong Suk said something that left viewers silent. Marriage isn't a trophy. It's not proof of love. It's the beginning of war with everything that tries to pull you apart. And you have to fight, every day. For each other. Paused, tears in his eyes, and added, "He fights quietly. I fight loudly, but we've both bled for this love." Since then, they've maintained a careful balance between public and private. They rarely attend events together, flaunt anniversary gifts or post matching photos, but if you look closely, you'll notice the small signs. A lyric slips into a song, only Jong Suk would understand. Jong Suk wears, gifted by her years ago, a look exchanged from across a crowded room. They don't need to prove anything anymore. Their love isn't a headline. It's a heartbeat, and in a world obsessed with perfection, Yuan Lee Jong Suk have become a rare reminder that the most beautiful love stories aren't the ones free of pain, they're the ones that survive.